Hello, my Vibe Tribe. Welcome to the Daily Vibe. It is, you know what day it is. Happy Tuesday. I'm really trying to get away from that. You know what day it is. Happy Tuesday. I'm sorry I'm running a little behind. No, I'm not sorry. It just happens. I got a little wrapped up in my brain this morning and thinking and overthinking and rethinking the overthinking. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning, and hope you're having a spectacular day so far, wherever you are, even if it's morning. Even if it's morning. There are parts of the world that are just getting up, like Hawaii. And then there's me. Good morning, baby sibling. How you doing, beautiful? And then, where the rest of us are right now on the west-ish coast. I say ish because Tucson is on the same wavelength as us right now. And it is, and it is the same time zone. So how is everybody? I know I've asked that before, but I feel like I'm not getting answers. So I'm pulling a mindful message. I pulled the 19th card in honor of baby sibling, because she's got a birthday this week. Good morning, Sammy. Oh, that's right. I forgot. We're starting to just do these now from the top. So no more shuffling. I'm going to put this back in the box so I don't weird out on that. Anyways, I'm sorry if I'm going in and out. My Wi-Fi apparently is rebelling because it says bad connection, low connection, and then, So anyways, I guess the mindful message card will be aimed at baby sibling today, whether she likes it or not. Who knows what it is, because again, I have not looked at it. But I do have some things. It's Tuesday Thoughts. And it is also day 15 of 30 Days of Self-Love. If you will notice, I changed my background. I actually put books where they belong on a shelf. But, don't ask me how many of them I read. Although I will tell you, this was one of my favorite finds. This one is, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy by John le Carre, and it's a 1990 or 1988 print. So, and it, oh my god, it is in amazing condition. I mean, look at it, right? Have I read it yet? No. Have I seen the movie? Almost. But I will. I told you I love books, but I have a goal. I have a goal to read as many of these by the end of the year as I can. And then I have my Henry James, Sylvia Plath, Stephen King, all the good stuff. Book on Frederick Douglass. American Psycho. Good movie. Haven't read the book yet. So it's a tough read. And I don't mean tough read as in bad. I mean, yikes. But, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Yeah, I do blame Mercury retrograde, baby sibling. And, Sammy says books where they belong. I know, I actually had them on another shelf, but I thought it would make a pretty background, right? So, and I do have different things over here because it was a battle last night trying to get these guys to stay. I have bookends coming, but shit. I had books flying everywhere. I was getting text messages from siblings' bedroom, which is right across the hall, saying, "Are you okay in there?" Because that shit kept falling off the top. It's like one big book, and it's like I had the bookends, but they're not tall enough. So now I have to get bigger bookends. So anyways, enough about me. How are you? Anyways, again, day 15 of self-love today. And, it's just some thoughts from me and some thoughts from this book. This book is amazing. Pierre-Alex Jeanty, I guess is his last name. It sounds very French, so I'm trying to pull all that French I remembered from high school, and I'm still trying to learn through Rosetta Stone. Thanks, Rosetta Stone, when I remember. But I figure, why learn a new language when I have one stuck in my head that needs to be revived? But I pulled something in there from there, and it just opened up, right? I mean, I was going to put all these books on my shelf, and I saw this one. I thought, oh my gosh. And I opened it up to the page, and I thought, oh, this is exactly what I'm going through and what I've been through. So also, I'm going to start with day 15 of self-love because I think it really kind of goes into what's being talked about today. So Day 15. What are you afraid to ask for? What do you need to speak up about? Sibling and I were talking about this morning, and it's a tough one. I was on Twitter this morning and I was reading about somebody who, they talk about how when they lose weight, they get paid attention to more, they get heard more. And I told her, I said, do people really get paid attention to more, or are they heard more, or is it just that their self-esteem is raising and they're starting to notice these things? But then I thought about it and I thought, the first time I lost a significant amount of weight, it was like, wow, you look so great. Good for you. Look at you. Glad to see you're losing weight. And it's like, I told her, if anybody says that to me again when I lose weight, I'm just going to tell them, you know what? I look great when I was fat, but I feel a lot better now. Because why are we so focused on the outside? This is what the self-love is all about, right? We sit there and we tell people, be kind, be kind, be kind. But I've been on an airplane when I weighed less than I weigh now. But Sibling likes the window. When we go to Colorado, we take our sister trip. And it used to be the three of us. It used to be me, her, and Sissy. And so we never had to worry about it. But now that Sissy's gone, it's just her and I. And she likes the window because apparently she sleeps on the plane, which, bullshit, she does not. And, we both like the window, but somehow I always end up in the middle seat. So I end up next to the people. And the last time we flew out to Colorado, this guy gets on the plane. It's just like, he looks at the chair, he looks at me, he's like, ugh. Now mind you, I scoot towards Sibling, okay? Because we'll put the seat rest up just so we both have room, because it's more comfortable. And she's my sister, so I don't fucking care. But I heard him. And it's just like, and all I could say when he was sitting down is, really, because I really don't want to sit by you either. And then all of a sudden he was friendly to me. How you doing? Hey, how's it going? Because I heard him. But it hurt. I've had people in bars tell me, if you lost more weight, you'd be very attractive. Well, what, am I ugly now? Or is it just because you're seeing, the between, or the neck and below? These are the things I want to speak up about. These are the things that hurt my self-love. But I'm letting it hurt my self-love. I am letting other people's words dictate how I feel about myself. I'm on a personal journey. I'm not talking to anybody about it because I don't want anybody's feedback. I don't want anybody's input. So, all I'm saying is that, just be mindful of your huffs and your facial expressions and your words. I get it. We all have these moments where we judge. I am no different. And I will tell you this honestly. People who are my size, they're no different. Some of them have been stigmatized their entire life. Okay, I told you I've been really thin and I've been on the thick side. I have lived on both sides of this weight track. And I've lived in the middle of it as well. And I have seen the nastiness on both sides. I have seen the ugliness on both sides. And there are people who literally struggle with their body positivity, and they'll comment on something and say, I just looked at your picture and you ain't nowhere near where, you should be complaining. But that's not how they see themselves. They have body dysmorphia. And people who, again, have been so stigmatized because of their weight their entire life just feel like, well, hey, we're getting the upper hand now. Body positivity is becoming a thing. People aren't afraid to show off their bodies. People aren't afraid to be who they are. And, people aren't afraid to be seen anymore. That doesn't give us the right to be mean to each other. I don't give a fuck if you were thick or you were thin. You do not get to be mean to somebody else because it makes you feel better and because somebody who was not like you put you down when you were younger or when you were growing up or even now. I kind of felt bad when I made that comment on the plane when I said, well, I don't want to sit by you either, but it was a natural reaction for me because I felt intimidated. Instead, I just said, hey, how's it going? Just so for your comfort and relaxation, I am practically sitting on my sister. It's hard enough for some of us being this way. It is hard on me. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my joints. I feel it when I live in a 2-story home. I feel it. I feel it when I'm rushing into a store. I know what is happening to me. I know what I am dealing with. And part of the reason I emotionally eat is because I get so tired of feeling judged. I get so tired of people putting their input in on what I can do. I get so tired of people telling me how to eat and how to live my life or how I'd be attractive if I lost weight. Fuck you, okay? I am fine just the way I am. That's my self-love. I've taken my power back. I have learned that, you know what? If you don't like me how I am now, you don't deserve me when I reach my goal weight. And my goal weight is nothing more than me wanting to live a long life because of this gal right here, okay? This is my Frankenstein. But how misunderstood was Frankenstein? Right? People will comment about my weight, and then when I lose weight, they comment about my scar. Or they look at me like I have a scar because of my weight. No, guys, I got this when I was 3, okay? And, I was born this, Lady Gaga was, I was born this way. But I also don't want to put down the people who don't know how to deal with it, okay? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we're going to hear people say things to other people. That might just be their insecurity. So go easy on them. Don't be mean. Just like I said, the guy who was about to sit down next to me on the plane was just kind of like, oh. But also, for those of us who are losing weight, and for those of us who are, a little bit on the thick side, don't be so hypersensitive to everything. 2 years ago, when somebody said that to me about losing weight and being more attractive, I would have cried. I cried later, I admit. But in that moment, I just thought, you know what? If people can't see me the way I am now, you don't deserve me. Because this is just my outside. There's an amazing, unapologetic person inside of me now. Now, granted, I did say sorry when I first started this, and I'm working on this, okay? But what I want is for each other to see one another. Sometimes people say things because they don't know what else to say, or because maybe they feel uncomfortable for that person, and it's understandable. Like I said, we're all human. I'm not putting anybody down that might put somebody else down. What I'm trying to do is bridge this gap between the misunderstandings on both sides. And with that being said, so that's what I'm afraid to ask for, and that is what I need to speak up about. That is my day 15 of self-love. I am working hard to love myself and accept myself exactly as I am. I have lost some weight, but I started losing weight and not telling anybody about it except older sibling, because obviously she lives in the same house with me, and not because, I don't want people to know, but because that puts the added pressure on me. And I actually wasn't going to share it on here, but it does. It puts the added pressure on me. And then I feel like everybody's watching me, waiting to see how I'm doing, or they check in, hey, how are you doing? Are you losing weight? Blah, blah. I don't need that. I don't need that. I know people mean well. I know people want the best for me. And I know they want me to get healthier because I have a congenital heart problem. Well, condition, because it's not a problem anymore. But I don't want it to become a problem again. That's why I know I have to lose weight. Even my cardiologist looks at me like I'm an anomaly. What can I say? I'm a self-healer. But a lot of times we struggle with losing weight because of our mindset. If you look in the mirror every morning and say, okay, I'm going to eat great today. I'm going to eat all the things I'm supposed to eat today. Maybe I'll have a couple of shakes because that's what I want to do. Or maybe I'll just nibble on some fruit, or, be a rabbit for today, or just eat anything healthy. You don't have to be a rabbit, okay? It's all about moderation. Moderation and I, not my strong suit. Not going to lie. But then if you go in the mirror because you didn't lose a pound the next day, you sit there and say, I'm going to be fat forever. You're putting that in your head. And you literally just put yourself 2 days behind yourself. So now you have 2 days to make up for, plus the day that you're already sitting in. Be kind to yourself. Say positive things about yourself. Don't focus on the outside, because I'll tell you, we are our worst critics. In fact, that's what I wanted to read by Pierre-Alex Gentil. It's from the Her poem book. This is a great book. I bought it because This is what he says. I do not claim to be a great poet, but a great observer of her. He is literally looking at a woman, and just kind of, I think, from the point of, almost the point of view of a woman, and it's so beautifully done. It is so beautifully done, and it just, there's some where I just cry because it really hits you in the feels, because it's like, oh my God, somebody sees me. And this is what he says: do not judge her by her past. She is still having dialogues with that version of herself, trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with her then. I cannot read my own writing. Do not condemn her. She already struggles to forgive herself. I'm going to see if I can find it in the book so I can read it a little better. But it's the truth. A person sitting there that is being judged already knows. And if they don't tell them, because they're happy. They're happy the way they are. Who gives us the right to be, judge, jury, and executioner? Nobody does. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I've done the same thing. If somebody makes a snide remark at me, I comment back. This was actually supposed to be Thursday's thoughts, but I really feel like it kind of comes in to this today, because I really had to connect with my inner child last night. And I think I really did connect with her. I think that there was a part of me that said, you know what? I'm not trying to get rid of you. Because the conversation I had yesterday with you guys was phenomenal in opening up a whole floodgate for me. It truly was phenomenal in opening up this whole thing of healing that I knew I needed to go through. And as I was coming home from the grocery store, I had this, just this feeling in the pit of my stomach of just sadness. And I thought, crap, usually when I get that feeling, somebody dies. But what I realized was, I think my inner child was worried that I was going to leave her behind. What I wanted to do, and what I had to remind myself, is I am going to live a life of one person, not two people, like I had to when I was a child. The one hiding the trauma, and the one living, really great life with awesome family, awesome parents, okay friends. My school friends were not always that kind to me. Like I said, I was very different. I was very awkward, and I was very shy because I had trauma, and nobody knows that. So I think that's where a lot of this today is coming from, is that, I have felt judged. Even when I was thin, I felt judged. And I felt judged by, heavier set people, by thicker people. So, and, there was a time when my metabolism just worked so well, I couldn't keep weight on. And, but I remember when I was a child, I remember making a comment about a heavy set person, and my mom saying to me, "That's not nice. And just remember, what you say might come back to you." And that really stuck in my head, and it has. But I didn't realize my mom struggled with emotional eating back then. So I've learned my own lessons over time. I've learned that, we are just who we are. And the only thing that makes us ugly is what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. So there's always going to be somebody out there who loves the outside, no matter what size you are. But the inside is what makes you shine through. It's what, negates everything on the outside. You could be the most beautiful person in the world and be a complete fucking asshole. And, maybe some people say, oh, that's just how they are. But you're not going to find the genuine people in your life. You're not going to find the people that say, you know what, could you stop being a dick? I am not afraid to call myself out. You have heard me over the months saying that, I am a total douchebag sometimes. I'm a fucking bitch. I can be a total asshole. And it's probably over exaggerating some of that, because I've gotten a lot better. And oh, thanks, Sammy. I just realized you said, "Preach, sister." I don't mean to be on my soapbox for this, because I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, whether you're thick or thin. What I want is for everybody to have, again, that understanding of one another and how words can hurt. When I saw the thicker person making a nasty comment to a thinner person, I hurt for the thinner person. I did. because it's like they're reaching out to somebody. They're it's just like the show This Is Us, right? In the first season, you have Kate, who's, you know, she's heavy set, and then you have Madison, who's this thin girl in a weight group, and she's the only thin one. But she had severe body dysmorphia. She had severe self-esteem issues. So she saw herself as being a thicker person, even if she wasn't. And I like how they really kind of approach the subject. You know, it was done very delicately. It was done with understanding. And there was finally a point where they came to a head where it's like, well, why do you think this? You know, because you have the girl that struggled with her weight all her life and has been given shit for it all her life. Then you have the girl who pretty much seems to have everything, and she's thin. And, you know, she struggles with this. You know, I have a family member who struggled with body dysmorphia. And I was astounded when I found that out. Like 100% floored. I had no idea. You know, I suffer from it. When I was thinner, you know, and a lot of it was because it's like, well, you're skinny, you don't have to worry about anything. And so, but I had the trauma behind me, and I didn't see what everybody else saw. I just saw this ugly troll, you know. Oh, I guess it's being mean to trolls, isn't it? I just saw this icky blob of hair and human flesh in front of me. I say hair because I had a lot of hair when I was younger. My hair was a lot longer. But yeah, that's all I saw. I didn't see what everybody else saw. I didn't see what my parents saw. You know, I didn't see what the guys in my school would see. I didn't. Any attention lavished upon me was just really kind of, please don't. In my head, I'm thinking, please don't. It's so uncomfortable. But now I'm learning how to love myself. And that's all I'm asking. I'm just asking for people to have understanding of one another. Sometimes it takes people to put us back in our place to make us understand that our words can hurt. And then we start to choose them better. I'm not sure if that means it changes anybody's mind. But again, I'm not putting anybody down. It may seem like I was at the beginning, but I'm not. Because, you know, thick or thin, people are mean to each other. You know, I don't care how high and mighty some thick people may think they are, and how they think they may have a right to not be kind to somebody else. You don't have that right. Okay? You don't. And that's a very controversial statement because somebody actually put on a group that I follow on Instagram that, you know, well, you know, if you're thin, you have no business being a part of this group. And it's like, you really don't understand the psychology of all this, do you? You know, people put you down for so many years because of your size, and now you're doing the same thing and you feel justified by it. There's no justification for being mean. I don't care what size you are. I don't care if you're 3 feet tall or 7 feet tall. You don't make fun of each other. You know, I don't care if you are thick or thin. You do not make fun of each other. We are meant to build each other up, not to tear each other down. If you have low self-esteem issues, fix it. Okay? Find a way to fix it. But do not take your shit out on other people. I have done that in my life. It is a terrible cycle. It does not feel good. I had a point in my life before sibling really got her reins around me and started reeling me in to help me get better, where I was so messed up inside that I wanted everybody else to feel miserable around me. I was not kind. I mean, I wasn't an asshole. I've always been, I will say it, I've always been a very compassionate person. But when people would say things to me, I'd lash out. Or if somebody didn't do something exactly the way I wanted to, that I was close to, not at work, but somewhere else, sometimes at work it came out. Depression does stupid things to you. And when it is highlighting your own personal shortcomings, it's even worse. It's like it's on steroids. So I'm not preaching you from a place of not understanding. I am preaching to you from a place of knowing. You know, I have said snarky things about people, not to their face, not under my breath around them, but I have said it in my head, or I've said it to other people, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. Because what does that make me? Yeah, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I have said things I should not have said. People are going to say things they should not have said. This is another reason why I'm not a fan of cancel culture. When you cancel something, you're not giving them room to grow. You're not teaching them. You are literally faulting them for things that happened 20 something years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You're not giving them the opportunity to show that they may have grown. 25 years ago, I was shy. I was quiet. I, bent over and did everything for my boyfriend at the time. He cheated on me constantly, and I was okay with that because I thought I deserved that. And then afterwards, when we broke up, I had not a nice thing to say about him. We had fun times. We had good times. I learned a lot of things from him. I learned how to do a beer bong from him. There's something to put on your resume. I can do a beer bong. First try. But, it's my party trick. But, sorry, if you don't throw humor into this, what else are you going to do, right? I feel like that character on Ghosts on BBC where he's just talking with his thumb. Laura knows because we just watched the Christmas episode the other day. It finally dropped on HBO Max. But I love that show. But he is so funny. He's a politician in the show. And, if you have HBO Max, I highly suggest checking it out. If you like British humor, I love British humor. I am a Capricorn, so dry Brit wit is my thing. But yeah, it was just and that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Except, unlike him, I mean what I say. But yeah, so I'm going to read this again because I really think it's important. Do not judge her by her past. She is still having dialogues with that version of herself, trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with her then. Do not condemn her. She already struggles to forgive herself. I do not know why that was so hard to read. I'm having issues this morning. But, sorry, maybe I need some water. I do apologize for being on my soapbox today, guys. I guess it was something I just needed to say because I did spend a good amount of time going deep last night, going within myself. And I find that a lot of times people are probably saying, God, she's sitting here yammering at us about all this shit, but it's like, does she even know? I know. I will never talk to you about something I don't understand. I will never talk to you about something that I haven't done myself. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I have been that person. There will be people who will argue and say, Shelly, I've always known you to be kind and compassionate and blah, blah, blah. I lashed out at sibling a lot. And all while she was trying to help me. It was literally like being in a circus. She was the lion tamer and I was the bitchy lion. And I'm sure I did it to other people. And after a while, I started to see, because, Sissy and I would have fights, and I started to see that what Sissy did to me, I was doing to Laura. But it's because her and I, all three of us, we've had so much pain. But Laura learned how to turn hers into something beautiful and amazing. She learned how to turn it around and say, hey, I've been there. I mean, she told me herself. She's all, before my accident, I was not a kind person. I find that hard to believe because a lot of people loved her before her accident and still do. And that's a testament to a kind person. But I think sometimes we all focus on our negative aspects of ourselves instead of focusing on the positive things. And that's what she taught me. She taught me how to focus on the positive side of my things. It's like, yeah, okay, you have depression. It's not the end of the world. I prefer to call it a dinged up mental health because it makes it sound a little bit more whimsical and lighthearted. But it is. It's not the end of the world. It felt like the end of the world until I realized that it is something that's always going to be with me, no matter what, no matter, depression, I think, can go into remission, but until you heal all these triggers, it's very hard to get there. So I treat it like a twin now. Like, okay, we're having a bad day. Let's take care of you. So anyways, sorry, soapbox time. So here we go. Mindful messages. My own energy. I love being I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand. It is up to them to do the rest. There you go. I mean, nail on the head, right? Again, I'll read this again. And look, it's a helping hand. You know, don't jump in the hole. I mean, what's the point of jumping in the hole? I mean, if both of you keep jumping in the hole and getting the other one out, it doesn't do anything. Reach out to them. Show them that they have somebody who's willing to take their hand. You know, and then pull them out. But let them do it at their own pace. I saw a great video the other day where there was a bunch of little baby monkeys, and they were all, the place it looked like was flooding. They were, somehow they ended up in the middle of this river and were clinging to life on this tree. And the guy kind of splashed water at them to let them know, hey, I'm not going to hurt you. And then he kind of started guiding them to where they let go of the tree and started swimming to him. And he stepped back just a little, but he had his hand out to let them know, hey, I'm not going to hurt you. And then he put his hand completely out. And next thing you know, he's like carrying 4 baby monkeys. And one of them, oh my God, so cute but so sad, is clinging to one of his arms. That's how small they were. And I mean, this guy was in business clothes. He was in a nice shirt, pants. And he's just out there. It was a beautiful human moment. That's what we need to do to each other. We need to reach out, maybe splash some water around and say, hey, I'm not going to hurt you, but I'm here. I'm here. Okay, and just take my hand. So that's my wish, is for everybody to be kind to each other. I don't care what you look like. Okay, just be kind to one another, and thick or thin, be nice to one another. Don't tell people you don't belong in this group because you're not big enough. And don't tell people you don't belong in this group because you're not small enough. Rude. And again, I don't judge. If people in their past, and maybe comments they've made in the past, I'm no better. I'm seriously no better. I mean, there are times when I wish my filter worked a little bit better than it does. Oh. Okay, now I'm laughing because when I made the comment that Sibling and I are like, the lion tamer and the lion in a circus, and I'm up on my little thing going, ah. What I thought of was something that Bestie said to me once about, because when I get hangry, you just want to throw the food at me. You don't even want to come near me. Because, I mean, I can be totally hungry and be normal, but if one thing sets me off and I get hangry, it's like, I turn into like, I don't know, some kind of prehistoric lion, like a saber-toothed tiger maybe. So that's why this one's funny. Have you eaten? You were acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. It's Taco Tuesday. How about that? I can't make this shit up. Oh my God, I cannot make this shit up. You saw, I did not. This was card number 19, okay? Or no, this wasn't card number 19. This was the card that was right on top. We're going to have fun with this deck over the next however many days. I can't remember how many cards there are. It does not say how many cards there are. So however many days there are with all these cards, we're going to have fun with it. But yeah, have you eaten? You were acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. So there you go. Go eat a fucking taco. That actually sounds good today. Actually, taco salad sounds good. And I'm not saying that because, I'm saying that because it legit sounds like a good idea. But, guys, just think about what I've said today. I'm sorry if I came at you in, a bit preacher mode, but let's just love one another. Be kind. Somebody says something mean to you, just try to think about it for a moment. I mean, it's like I said, it really did happen that way. The person in the bar and I said, you know what? I said, if a person can't love me exactly as I am now, they don't deserve me when I reach my goal weight. Because I'm still the same me. Excuse me. Ooh, coffee. I'm still the same me on the inside. Okay? The only thing different is that I am decreasing my pant size now. And again, I'm not doing it for any other reason except my heart, and because my joints, and because my body was not built for this weight. Okay? It really was not. And believe it or not, some people's bodies are. Bigger boned people carry it a lot better. So, before you make fun of people, that just really may be genetics. But you're shaming people into being something that they may never reach. And that's not that they can't reach a nice, curvy figure, but some people have curves naturally. I have an hourglass figure when you can see it, but I've decided that I'm not going to put myself down in the mirror anymore. I'm not going to look at me like, ugh. I am filling my head now with positive affirmations. I'm filling my head with, I am enough, I am complete, I am worthy. And I try to take the suggestions and the comments with a grain of salt now, because I cannot let somebody else's thoughts, words, heavy sighs affect my self-love for myself. Okay, so just to leave you off with that, day number 15 of self-love. What are you afraid to ask for? What do you need to speak up about? Find that. Find what you need somebody to know. Set boundaries if you have to. Do what you have to do. But whatever it is, do it with kindness. Okay? So, I will see everybody tomorrow for Self-Care Wednesday. I got to come up with something new. I mean, we still have the box of the London box of things, but I'll be honest, that got kind of boring. So, I will try to come up with something for self-care tomorrow. I still hope everybody's practicing their affirmations, because that was pretty good. That was a fun one. And I will see everybody tomorrow on the Daily Vibe, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I post this to all social media later, including YouTube. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. And I thank you all for hanging in there today and watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.